next up, we have the Banana Cup. So we have Dry Dry Desert from the GameCube. Donut Plains 3 from the SNES, surprisingly, right? And I'll explain in a second why. N64 Royal Raceway, a fan favorite. It's also one of my favorite tracks from the N64, so I'm a little biased. And DK Jungle from the 3DS. So we'll start with Dry Dry Desert. Personally, I don't think this should have been the track that they added originally from the GameCube. There were so many better ones, particularly DK Mountain, Daisy's Cruiser, Waluigi Stadium. Though they do get added later on, so we'll see them soon. But right now we're talking about like the base game, right? So a great remake. Oh, I didn't take the boost. Fuck, whatever. Obviously, Double Dash was known for... This has been expanded, but Double Dash was known for its straight up just chaotic energy. Especially because it was two drivers on the car, right? And you had also special items that you would get. So like, for example, like Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong would get like this giant ass banana that would split into smaller bananas once someone hit it. Or like Bowser and Baby Bowser got like this big ass Bowser shell that would just like ping pong around the tracks and be insane. I remember when I played that, I had, what did I run? I ran Toad because he had the golden mushroom. So you get like a limited boost for like an X amount of time. Take this for an unlimited amount of time, and then there was something. Who did I use? Who was my other character? I would sometimes use Baby Bowser because the shell was like very, very useful at throwing it backwards, so you would actually have like an offensive and defensive capability. Or I would also run. They had the Koopa and Paratroopas. So the Koopas and Paratroopas, and they had the Koopa had triple green as a special. That's what I think triple green got. Oh no, and triple red was the Paratroopa. Obviously matching their colors. Also, that sand pit right there, in the original one, if you just barely touched it, you would die. And also, this entire section was not an oasis in the original one. Still sand. But beyond that, like, get out of here. Beyond that, everything was pretty much the same. Just obviously upscale and, like, you know, beautified. Alright, next, it's Donut Plains 3. So, or the original Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart had, obviously there were hardware limitations, so they would have to reuse a lot of the assets, right, in order to make tracks. So the game came with like 16 tracks, I believe. So each cup would have like a Mario Circuit 1, 2, 3, 4. There will also be Donut Plains 1 and 2 in the base, like the Mushroom, the Flower, and the Star Cup. And then the beginning of the Special Cup was Donut Plains 3. This thing was brutal compared to the other tracks because the water and the moles were just, and the roads were so narrow, they were so obstructed that you had no chance of getting out, and you had to know how to time your jumps. So I'm gonna show. Obviously here it doesn't matter because you can go underwater, so who gives a flying fuck? But in the original one, it would slow you down so fast, and Lakitu would just like rip points out of you. So all that water was actually in the main original game, but you would just submerge, spend like 2-3 seconds down there, and then Lakitu would just pull you out, and it would take forever for him to put you back on the track. So it was a huge difficulty spike in the original game. I think I did too early. Yeah. The music stayed basically the same though. Like right here, like you had to time this jump into that side, because otherwise you would just eat shit. It was a guarantee like every lap. Alright, I'm gonna keep this just in case. I want to. The one thing I wish this game had is that you can swap the items from one side to the other. Like if I wanted to use the green right now, right, I'm locked right now to having the mushroom. But I mean, it makes sense, right? Like you wouldn't want to do this because then I'm just saying that I actually want to get thrown. I want a blue shell to get thrown at. They even will throw me once at the time. Alright, so they go. But yeah, that's Donut Place 3. Obviously it doesn't look as much nowadays, but back in the day it was a nightmare, especially when I was a kid. I hated this track with a passion. So fortunately I did end up beating Super Mario Kart altogether, so alright, next one. It's a fan favorite. It's the N64 Royal Raceway. Obviously very much beautified because it was very bare bones on the original. But this remake is actually really pretty. The one thing though, the N64, you can drive into the castle, which is the exact same layout as Super Mario 64. In this one, it's actually gated off, so you can't go through it. Disappointment. Nintendo, patch this shit. Please. These turns in 200 are actually kind of hard if you don't know what you're doing. Especially those at the beginning right there. Obviously, this toad wasn't there, like that balloon wasn't there. See, it's all sealed off. This poor shell is like trying to reach me and it can't. That was it. So here, what I like to do is take it right here and then break it immediately. That way you get purple right here. And you just keep your momentum right here. It's very, very easy. And before you ask, no, I do not play time trials whatsoever. This is just me experimenting as I throw myself into the blender with these things. And now it's just gotten to a point where, like, it's... I've gotten way too good. Oh, fuck, I want a mushroom. Give me that. So, obviously, if you have a mushroom, you can take that ramp right there. It doesn't save any much more time. So, again, very aesthetically pleasing and very close to the original. And obviously, we're gonna see a lot of remakes here. So, because like after Nitro Cups, it's like a lot of remakes. DK Jungle. I don't know if a lot of people have actually. I know people played Mario Kart 7. But I don't know if like anyone my age actually played it like a lot. It's based on Donkey Kong Country Returns. That's what it is. But this was around the same time as Tropical Freeze came out, so I think that, like, they threw some references in there. So you start in the jungle, right? And like DK Barrel, right? Like that's like the first thing you see in one of these games. That's the HUD, right? These are the Tikis from Return. The golden pyramid was in the game with the golden banana, but I think you had to like get like every banana in the game. I had the game for 3DS actually, or I still have it. But I always wanted to play like the console one because the 3DS controllers are just too small for my big ass hands. Even the Switch feels very small, and I have like I have a carrying case that contains a shell, like an outer shell, so that it makes it a little bigger, so that it actually fits better in my hands. Yes, I am all about comfort, especially when traveling. I always take my Switch with me because it's very easy to set up, and I have all the games that comfort games there, or games that I actually like playing. I mean, not saying that I don't like playing other games, but. But like say for example, right, like Mario Kart, I have Hades, I have both Zeldas, I have Sea of Stars on that as well, I have Octopath Traveler, so I have a crap ton of games that are like very fun and very close to dear to my heart. Plus Smash Bros and like all the good shit, player shit that Nintendo puts out. Oh, that man just ate shit. I saw that. I saw him fall. Can't fool me. Cool. So that was the Shell Cup. So we will go